Hey, good people. Welcome back to Amelia's Corner. Let's get at this recipe. Today I am making lasagna soup. And I'm rushing because I had a bone marrow biopsy and I'm trying to get it all done before the numbness wear off. The star of the show is the Italian hot sausages and ground beef. However, you can use whatever meats that you like as well as seasoning. But these are the seasonings that I chose and they turned out great in this dish, especially that jalapeno adobo, which I picked up from Marshall's or TJ Maxx. What you see me doing here is uncasing the sausages so that they will ground up better. And I use 2 packs because I have a large family. If you have a smaller family, then suit yourself and use 1 pack. But we are a party of 7 over here, so I make everything supersize me. And so once I get all the sausages out of the casing, I go ahead and I brown until it's just about done. And then I throw in my ground beef and I'll continue to mix it and mash it until it is thoroughly done. I probably should have used a different utensil here, but I used what was in my hands, which was a wooden spatula. There was not much of this seasoning left, but it was a hit in our home. And again, I got it from somewhere like Marshall's or TJ Maxx. That was jalapeno adobo, and I do highly recommend it. And here, I'm just adding the other seasonings that you saw in that seasoning lineup. And like I always tell you all, season your food until your spirit says stop. Okay. Some people say season until the ancestors tell you to stop. Do it how you do it, but make sure you season your food well. We want flavor in our food. Okay. All right, so after I get done adding all the seasonings, I do my best to mix it in thoroughly because you don't want a section that's super salty because you did not combine it well. So here you see me trying to combine the seasoning well with the food. What you see me doing here is melting down some butter to saute my onions and peppers. And here I use yellow and green bell pepper. Both peppers are good for your skin and hair. They both contain B vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber. They are high in vitamin C, which provides support for your immune system, which we all need in this season. And the white onions are also good for your immunity. And they aid in blood sugar regulation. That's white onions. They aid in blood sugar regulation. So here, I stir them for a while. They don't have to be translucent. It's your preference here. Once I cook them into my liking, then I begin to add my meat to them. Here, I'm breaking up my lasagna noodles. Some people break up the noodles and let it cook in their sauce. I personally don't trust that process, so I cook my pasta separately, but you could do it how you like. I'm sure it will work out fine. I just don't trust that process, so I cook my pasta separately. So after I finish breaking up that pasta, I let it boil until I follow the directions on the packet, which was, I believe, 8 to 12 minutes. And so I'm just transferring the meat here, and then I'm gonna add all the other ingredients after I transfer the meat. And I use this large spoon spatula so that the soup wouldn't be oily, because there was a little bit of oil left from cooking that grease, and I didn't drain it. I just used this strainer spoon. And again, after I add all the meat, I'm going to begin to add my other ingredients slowly but surely. And you all can see how well done this meat is. You don't want your family to get sick by undercooked meat. So now you could crush this up or cut this into squares. That's cream cheese. But again, like I said, we were rushing because I didn't want the numbness to wear off before I sat down. So right here, I'm just adding my tomatoes. And guys, tomatoes are also good for your skin. They boost heart health. They improve blood vessel functions. They're rich in vitamin C, K, and potassium. And tomatoes also support immunity. So this soup is going to be very good and nutritious and also delicious. So I'm just scraping out the tomato paste from this can here. And I only use one can. But again, you can use whatever ingredients you like. So once I get done adding all of that, I'm just going to combine it until it's really thoroughly melted. At the last minute, I decided to add spinach because Popeye said so. And we know spinach is also a nutritional powerhouse. Look up the benefits. Spinach is very good for you, as most green vegetables are. And here I'm just trying to fold in the spinach well. I use 2 packs of frozen spinach, but you can use fresh spinach. Again, this was a rushed dish, but it turned out great. It really, really turned out great. So I'm just going to continue to fold this spinach in until it's combined very nicely with the rest of the ingredients. So that's all I'm doing here is folding until I'm content that it's even. I like for things to be even. So when you bite into the dish, you're getting a little of this and a little of that. So what I'm about to do next is add the pasta sauce. And I ended up only using 1 jar. I had 2 jars out, but I only needed 1 jar. You know, you rinse what's left out of that jar and pour it into the pot. So you may or may not see me doing that here in a few minutes. But just combine that and you see the consistency. It's going to get thicker when I add the noodles in. But this is the consistency right now. It was nice and smooth. So I'm just going to continue to fold all of the ingredients together. And here, don't do what me and Noah did. We forgot to rinse these noodles, so they were a little sticky, but that's okay. Again, we were rushing, and this was the best rushed dish ever. It was absolutely delicious. You'll see the end results in just a few moments. Even though we didn't rinse these off, it didn't really hurt anything. It was delicious. It wasn't sticky in the pasta. I broke them apart to the best of my ability, and trust me, we enjoy this dish. So here I just rinsed out that jar with a little heavy whipping cream, and that's why that color is like that. It's not exactly red and it's not exactly pink, but I just used a little heavy whipping cream in the jar to rinse out that pasta and poured it in there. It gave this even a richer, creamier consistency. And I'm just going to continue to fold this in until my heart is content. And this dish really did not take that long at all. I promise you it did not take that long at all. So I'm just stirring things in here. And I'm going to continue to stir. And then I added my cheese. I added some jalapeno cheese. And there was also mozzarella cheese for top. Here I am just adding a little Italian seasoning, because what's a lasagna without some Italian seasoning, right? And so after I get done adding that, again, my favorite thing to do is stir everything in to make sure all of my ingredients are combined well and evenly. So now, once that seasoning is in, I'm just going to wait for it to simmer down a little bit, and then I'm going to serve it up. So that's it. I'm just going to continue to stir here for a few moments, and then I'm going to plate this delicious meal. I'm going to add just a little bit of parsley for color. Parsley dry does not exactly have a taste whatsoever, but we like the color. My daughter thinks it's pretty. She puts parsley on everything. So there, that's that. And so I'm just going to stir that in. It's not going to affect or change the taste whatsoever. It's just really pretty. So that is that. And now, once that's all stirred in, you'll just see me continue to blend this all up, and it's just about done. You can let it simmer for however long you wish. After everything was blended to my heart's desire, I served it up, and it looks absolutely delicious. It didn't start like that, but it ended like that. And so that's it, y'all. It's done. I'm going to plate it. Look at that cheese pull. So good. I promise this is so good. If you make this, let me know. Put it in the comments. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. I am always glad to give any hints or clues as to how I do things or to just help out in any way. I'm going to top this with some ricotta cheese and chow down. I love you all. Until next time. Bye-bye. Much love.